Today we're talking communication
and small talk.
Hey, I can help with that.
There's only one thing that we love more than eating food with chopsticks, and that's photography.
All right, welcome today. We have our special guest, international public speaker, motivational speaker.
International.
Cara Lane.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome.
I'm a communication coach. My name is Cara Lane, and I'm excited to be here on the Chopsticks, guys. I'm absolutely going to teach you so much about becoming a personable photographer. Small talk, how important it is. But first, guys, I decided to add a little feminine flair to your show today.
That's nice.
I know,
So
isn't that sweet?
But let's put it out of the way.
Yeah, that's
right
perfect.
Wait, let's put it right there.
Sure.
Okay.
I think this is why we don't have the flair.
All right.
How's that?
Yeah, we can do away with that. Anyway.
Wait, she's not officially on the show.
Exactly. So before you begin, anytime we have a guest, we have something that we would like to give to you as a official guest of the Chopsticks, an official set of Chopstick Guy chopsticks.
Oh, and it's blue. It matches
So
me
matches today. It's
Whisper
color
notes
coordinated. So
I have a foreign exchange student from China in my home right now. So look how good I am. I have learned.
Okay, it's official. She's in.
okay.
I'm in. Cheers. Chopstick cheers.
Okay, so today we've asked Cara to come in because she is a communications expert. And one of the problems that we find with photographers that come to our workshops is they're not good at communicating with their subjects. Lots of odd conversations, a lot of mumbling behind your camera, those types of things. And so we thought you would come in today and talk a little bit about how to be a better communicator as a photographer.
I am so excited because I have actually gone to some of their photo workshops and taught photographers how important it is to have small talk. And here's why. Number one, it builds rapport, and people want to be able to trust you. So that's number two, rapport and trust. Honestly, sometimes you can be the best photographer in town, but if you're not personable, nobody wants to do work with you. Because ultimately, you are working with, you ready for this?
Yes.
People. You're usually photographing with, or you're
I
photographing
usually say
people.
portrait photographer is great if it weren't for the people.
That's right.
Oh,
So-
that's funny. That's true. So let's really get our people skills on today.
Okay, so how do we do that? What's like the most important thing that you think a photographer should learn?
Number one is make a connection with people. And I actually have a formula for that. You want it?
It's another math class.
Okay, just remember these three letters. CSI. Like CSI.
Like the show.
Okay.
You got it? Like the show, investigation, right?
Got
Let's
it.
start with C. C is a call to the obvious. Everybody has something in common. So if it is about the weather, then you just say, hey, it's a really overcast day. Then the S is the self-share. It's like a ping pong ball, okay? And a ping pong match. So let's say you serve up the ball and then you lob it back and you guys have ping pong going back and forth. So you have to, in order to serve small talk up, you have to give a self-share because nobody likes being interviewed where the interviewees are not a part of it or they don't want to deal with the monologue.
Yep.
So it's really important that you give a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
And then the I stands for an actual invitation. So what's the invitation? The invitation is open-ended. And too many people just say yes or no questions. So the invitation needs to be like this. Tell me about your vacation. Hey, tell me what your favorite food is. You got to make it open-ended. So I'm going to review that one last time. And then you guys tell me how you think that that could be
All right.
a really good
Well, that's
skill.
awesome because I know so many times you're standing there in front of a brand new client, somebody that you've never seen before, never talked to before, and you ask one of those stupid questions, right? Close-ended question, and it's like, where does the conversation go?
Yeah.
That's right.
Just
Nice
continue
weather
to
we're
ask.
having today, isn't it? And you get that So watch the difference. CSI, call to the obvious. S, self-share. I, invitation. Beautiful weather we're having today. I'm really glad it's overcast because we're on a photo shoot today. And my brother-in-law, who's a professional photographer, says that's really important. Tell me, what are you excited about having the weather like this today? Communication coach, wrong topics. Are you married? Do you have kids? What do you do? Politics, religion, or your operating system? Oh, can I just see the footage that I just filmed just now?
Photographers hate it when you want to see the footage.
Please.
I don't know what I'm going to talk about.
All right, guys. I'll help you. All right, guys. You guys ready? I'm going to make you guys practice this.
I don't like this.
Now, let me be truthful with photographers. A lot of people like me, we don't know anything about photography. I don't have the patience for photography. I really don't understand. I don't understand. Like Mark's tried to tell me, like, hey, there's light on your face. I don't get it. I don't understand photography. So photography to me is not necessarily the greatest small talk skill.
Okay.
So you guys need some really good small talk skills.
It does.
Okay, here's some safe things to talk about. Okay. Obviously the weather, everybody talks about that. You can also talk about animals. You can talk about travel. Now, as much as we live in an internet age where you can periscope and already be in Italy or you can be across the world at any time because you can Google things, people still like having their own experience. You can talk about hobbies. So you guys, you could start really quick. You could say, hey, I'm out here on a photo shoot. That's the C, S, do a little self-share.
Yep.
And then instead of saying, what do you know about photography? You could just say, tell me about your hobbies.
Okay.
And let's see if you guys have any hobbies besides photography.
You start it.
Do I have to ask you about the weather?
You have to ask me whatever.
Okay.
Let's see how you do.
Some of the safe topics. Animals, food,
Okay.
hobbies.
How about, hey, I see you have a chopstick guy's shirt on. Do you like eating food with chopsticks?
I do.
Oh, I didn't use the me.
You did the closed-ended question.
I did. That was wrong. Huh?
Yes, that was wrong.
Wrong.
Okay, so I have to say, hey, I see you have a chopstick guy shirt on. Since you're a chopstick guy, you must love eating food with chopsticks because I love it. One of my favorite foods is sushi.
I do. I love sushi too.
And what's the CSI? What's the I?
No, you did good. You did really good.
I'm done? Okay. See you later. And I
tell me what's a great place to go.
There we go.
Yeah.
There
you live here in town.
You did your investigation.
Tell me where would be a good place to have sushi in Roseville.
There you go. So you need to investigate.
Yeah. Tell me what's a great place to eat.
me.
You know where's a great place to eat sushi?
I don't.
Umi Sushi.
Ooh, that's a fantastic place.
On Douglas.
Yeah.
Now, he's going to end up there. They're going to be buddies forever because they are sushi lovers. It just works that way. And I know this sounds crazy, but even though that didn't seem like that big of an interaction, those are the little
All right,
things.
Let me try one though.
Okay.
All right. See, it's a lot harder than you think.
Yeah,
you
it
have
is.
to think about it.
Okay.
So, do you like dogs, Mark? You know, I've had a dog for a number of years now, and I never used to be a dog lover. But I kind of really started to like dogs. Do you have a dog?
I do have a dog. And
just real quick, time out.
Oh.
Tell me.
Because I could have pulled my dog died. I had to put it to sleep last week.
Tell me, why do you like dogs?
Wait, even if that happens, people still love talking about their animals that have passed. I promise.
Okay.
Tell me about your dead dog. No, don't do that one.
No, but they do. They like giving honor to their animal.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, this is actually really great because, again, like I had mentioned before, just those few minutes of introductory time are so awkward a lot of times. You just don't know what to say. And
Senior portraits, that's the worst.
Oh, that is.
Especially when you're old like us. You get in front of these kids and you go,
like you.
So where do you go to school at? How do you like school? And you get the, I go to Roseville High School.
Okay, I'm going to step in. I'm going to teach another skill.
Okay.
Here we go. Say, what is your greatest challenge in high school and what's your best reward? What was your high? What was your low? What made you happy? What makes you sad? So you can do a compare and contrast.
Okay.
And that really works. Hey, you just got back from a cruise. What was the highlight of your cruise and what was the low light?
Okay.
So think about that all the time. That's another thing you can do with senior portraits.
Okay.
Hey, Mark. You owned a Volkswagen Carmen Ghia. What was the highlight and low light of that car?
The highlight was it looked fantastic. The low light is
It never ran.
It was always broken down.
That's actually really good.
See, look at that.
Okay,
Look at that.
now I got to teach you guys how to exit small talk.
Okay.
Now that you're getting good at it, and you have to believe me, and I do want to talk to the photographers for a second.
Okay.
Photography is all about your clients. You need to be able to connect from 2-year-old all the way to 92. You have no idea who's going to be at your photo shoot, especially if you do weddings and things like this. So being personable, you want people to say, hey, that photographer is extremely personable, because those are the people they hire. Those are the people they like. Yeah. And it's that important. So with that said, you also need to know how to exit small talk. This is where you can leave people in the dust.
Out of here. How do we do that?
Yeah. You interrupt with a compliment. Hey, let me compliment you, Steve. You have a great show with Mark. I've just got to get back to a point that I'd like to make because it's really important. So just interrupt with a compliment, exit line.
Okay.
That's my 3 steps. I'm all about steps.
So you
So
can,
interrupt,
you can say,
compliment,
is
exit
it
line.
inappropriate or appropriate to say something about their clothes, or just, wow, that's a really nice shirt you have on.
Well,
but I really got to get back to what I'm doing. Is that
Yeah,
what you mean,
that's
that kind
good.
of thing,
That's
or-
not what I mean, though.
Okay.
Compliment the connection that you're having with
Okay.
that person. Just recently, I was at a wedding where I was talking to the photographer, and it was really good because she said, hey, it's been great talking to you. I just got to get back to taking some photos. So
That's good.
compliment the connection that
Okay.
you're having with that person. Hey, it's really good connecting with you.
Yep, it's great to meet you.
Yeah, great to meet you. I've
Look
just got
forward
to get
talking
back
again,
to...
but I have to get back to doing my
Hey,
job.
Kara,
Yep.
this was really great having you on the show, but we got to get.
We
back
really
to
have to get back to
Kara, you're awesome. Hey, back to you. That was good.
See?
I'm
We're good at
impressed. I should have brought like a little certificate, A+.
Yeah, it's really funny because we were talking about this earlier. We've talked a lot about this year at WPPI, meeting a lot of different photographers. And that was the one thing we came away with. We went back and said, you know what? I hear a lot of people say they don't like that photographer, that his style of photography. And I don't really like that kind of work. But we sat and we listened to these guys talk, and everybody we met, we went, I know why that guy gets work, because he's fantastic. I just want to
like
hang
the
out
guy.
with him. I like the guy.
Yeah, there's a few that you said, like, I wouldn't go to dinner with that guy. I mean, that's kind of my judging of people. It's like, if I want to hang out at dinner with him, I like him, you know? And
Yeah.
it's because of that personality, the things you're talking about.
Yep.
I think sometimes all of us can get stuck behind what we do as a career. You guys can get stuck behind your
Yeah.
camera. I can get stuck even behind being polished. And the whole goal is to have relationship with other people. And that's what is so important for photographers. It's essential that they have some kind of rapport with you guys.
Yeah.
No, that was awesome.
All right, good. So incorporate those small talks into
Hey,
your segments.
I actually have something else I wanted to share.
Bonus
Okay.
offer, real quick. It's a special bonus.
Okay.
Kara's bonus,
And that's
right?
not all. You get
So
now.
let me tell you what I'm like. When I recently got a root canal, I know this is sad, going to
that
a root
sounds
canal.
fun.
Tell me, have you ever had a root canal?
No,
Oh, you're so lucky.
but my son's going to get one in a couple weeks. So.
Oh, that's right, because he busted his tooth. Hey, real quick. When I go to get a root canal, the dentist actually asked me, now, do you want me to explain everything, or do you just want me to do my work? I actually really appreciated that the dentist did that to me, because I'm the kind of person that wants everything explained.
Yep.
I think as photographers, you guys need to do that. Hey, do you want me to tell you why I'm setting up this scene this way? Mark, think about all the backlighting that you've done for clients. And you just ask them, hey, throughout your wedding, throughout this photo shoot, would you like me to tell you why I'm setting this up? Because some people really like the explanation. And then some people be like, no, just do your job. We trust you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So why don't you guys start asking your clients what they would like? Because I personally love the explanation. I love when Mark tells me why we can't shoot right now. The sun's directly in a face or something like that. So how have you seen that might be helpful for you guys?
No, I totally think that's helpful. You know, anytime that you can explain something just to relax the client
Yep.
is better, and I think that's what it does.
But you're right. There is sometimes when you get with a client and you can just tell they are not interested in knowing. We shot a band here last week and would have been a waste of time for us to go, well, we've set up a backlight over here. These guys have taken pictures thousands of times. It was about take my picture and get me out of here.
Yep.
And so,
Well, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
So you can read people on that one. And mostly I want to tell photographers is if you are actually filling out a contract and having time with your client before the shoot, ask them that. Would you like the explanation during the photo shoot? Because I love to if you want. If not, just I'll do my job. Isn't that great?
Perfect.
That's great.
So Kara does a lot of training on all kinds of stuff about communication. We can put her link actually down below.
And
Yeah, I'm
as well,
Kara Lane. Kara spelled with a C because Kara cares. Aw, do it. Do this.
No.
Oh, with your chopstick.
Thanks. You guys can do it. Thanks for coming by today.
Yeah.
Loved it. And hopefully you take those tips to heart and put them to use right away.
Fortunate questions.
All right, it's our favorite time. Well, one of our favorite times.
My favorite's when we eat
the
the
sushi
sushi,
is
but,
my favorite time, but fortunate question time. Okay. Oh man, we are getting
We
skilled
are.
at this. Let's see if the
Let's
pass
see.
works.
Oh,
So close. We can try to get. Oh,
okay. How about we do
There you
this?
go.
We just break it today. So
So what do we
look
got
at our
here?
fortunate question.
We're
Right?
always spilling them all over the floor.
I know. So,
Yeah, thanks for just throwing the rest on the studio floor.
all right. So, this question comes from Jennifer from, is that La Canada?
No, Sonora.
No, it's La
Sonoma.
Canada. La Canada.
Canada.
All right.
What's it say?
It says, whenever I upload my photos to Facebook, they always look terrible. Is there any way to change that?
There is. And so I found that same problem. Probably a lot of you have found that problem before. Uploading your pictures to Facebook, they can look really bad. They're either pixelated, their colors all messed up. They look bad. And it's always really frustrating as a photographer because you want to show your pictures in the best light.
And there's some good things that you can do to make them look better.
Yeah,
So-
definitely. So here's the biggest tip. Jennifer, right? Yeah, Jennifer.
Yes.
Here's the biggest tip is that you want to make sure that when you upload your pictures, the resolution is 2048 on the long end.
Yeah.
So you just set it in Lightroom or Photoshop when you're exporting your picture, 2048.
Yep.
So 2048
Yep.
is the right number for that pixel to upload correctly.
Yeah, and it'll look great.
It will look great. You do that, and I usually use 240 resolution at 2048 if I'm uploading to Facebook, and that's the magic number. Anything below that, they change. Anything above that, they compress. So
Yeah, so that's the magic
That's
number.
the magic
2048, and it's easy to remember. Just remember that number and use that.
Yeah.
So here's one of the things that I kind of think this is an urban legend or myth, or we need Mythbusters to do it. We do our own show of Mythbusters. And I keep hearing people tell me, oh no, if you want it to look good, you have to upload it not only at 2048, but as a PNG.
No.
Yeah, PNGs, they're basically just, they're JPEGs that allow for transparency for the background.
JPEGs, yeah.
I've uploaded them both ways, cannot see a difference. So I think you're wasting your time with that extra step as a PNG. No reason to upload them. Just upload them as JPEGs. But here's the most important thing. You have to understand, we talk about color spaces when we talk about Photoshop once in a while. The language or what color space is used for the entire internet is sRGB. If you upload an Adobe RGB or Apple RGB, they automatically get converted to sRGB, and you can lose some of that color. So if you're someone who's just very, I always feel like I'm saying a dirty word, very anal about your photos, is set it to sRGB when you export it so you can take a look at it. Because, things like your reds, you'll lose a little bit of that saturation converting from, Adobe RGB to sRGB. Just be aware that there is no other way to put them online except for sRGB. That's what they become.
That's a good question.
So, good question.
Good question. All right, so make sure
2048.
that you send in your questions every week. You can enter them right down in the comment section of this video, but we love to hear your questions.
All right. Hoi, talking raw, talking raw.
No.
What?
It's your turn.
To eat sushi.
No, to do the raw talk.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to talk about. You eat sushi,
I think
and
I will. What are you talking about?
we're going to talk about vignetting. How not vignetting, but how to make a vignette in Photoshop. Not a Lightroom this week. We'll be in Photoshop. So this is a little bit more of a medium technique. It's not an advanced technique, but I think this is one of the best ways I've ever seen to make a vignette, and you have the most control. So here's what's going to happen. I'm just going to take the photo here, and I am going to grab my elliptical marquee tool. So right here at the top left, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to drag out my elliptical marquee, and I am going to put it right where I want it to be. And then I am going to invert that selection. So I go select, inverse, and now I have selected the stuff that's around the backside. I am going to now, under my layers panel, I am going to select a levels adjustment layer. So now what I can do is I'm going to grab my midtones, which is this middle slider here, right? And I'm just going to bring that down. This is why I like working on layers, because I can actually overdo it. Sometimes if I have a lot of lights, which I don't in this one, I'll actually bring down here my highlights in.
Okay.
So I'll just kind of kill everything, because when it's on its own layer, I can change the opacity of that layer. So I'm going to set that first. Now, see right up here underneath properties, I have this little jagged line that's saying, hey, you're working in your levels panel.
Yeah.
Right next to it, I got this little box here that says masks. So now I'm on my layer mask. It says feather. I'm going to go ahead and run my feather out to anywhere around 250%. So there we go, 259.3. And so now what I've done is I've blended that in, that edge. So last step is right under my layers panel. I'm just going to go right back to my layers, and I am going to lower the opacity of that layer down to nothing. And I'm going to start bringing it back up until I kind of go, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So that draws a little bit of attention. The problem that I see when people use just the slider that's built into Lightroom, that's even built into Camera Raw when they use the vignette there, everything looks like that, and they're over vignetted.
Okay.
It's
Well, I mean, that was going to be my question. It's
Yeah.
like, why would it go through those 8 steps when I can just use...
because it doesn't blend as well. This gives you a little more control because you set the size of that radius. Inside of Photoshop and in Lightroom, in their generic one, you have the choice of round or oblong. That's all you have. Here, I have now the ability to make that shape. A lot of times, the other day we shot a band, I went out and I lassoed the band. I used a lasso tool, and I had this weird oblong shape around them, chose the back,
Okay.
and then I just lowered that down, and I lowered the opacity, and then I control the vignette. The vignette you shouldn't even know it's there when you do a vignette correctly. It's just the eye gets drawn to the
people
center.
just like crushing that vignette.
Exactly.
Way too vignette-y.
Yep.
Is that a word?
We do it a lot in video, but it
Vignette?
works in video. It doesn't work in
Vignette? Is that a word?
vignettes. Yeah.
Vignette? Okay.
That's like Sasquatch stuff. I'm a vignette and I crush things. So great little tip.
All right.
It doesn't take that long to do. I actually, on my desktop, on my big computer, I actually have this set up as an action file.
Awesome.
So I just click it and it's done.
All right, you're free to eat sushi.
Thank you.
That was Rob Talk.
All right.
Talking Rob.
So why don't you give us some food for thought for this week? Why I have some food for my mouth.
Yes, thanks for breaking our table. Well, I just go back to what we taught today, right? That whole inverse square law was... I enjoy that. Like I said in the beginning, that the way you taught that was a way that anybody can understand. And I think that's so important. Often as photographers, we like to get so techie and worry about all the details when it's really just taking the picture.
That's right. I'm kind of slow to learn. I like to teach things the way I wish people would have taught it to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be techie. Just tell me the practical side of doing things.
So, I mean, that's my big food for thought. It's just break everything down where it's easy.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be difficult.
So now just get out there and put it into practice.
Definitely.
You saw it, you learned how to do it, now go and do it.
And while you're going and do it, what we'd love to have you do, because it helps us out here, we'd love you to have you like, and please subscribe to our channel. We come at you every Tuesday with a brand new show. Also midweek, we have a bunch of stuff that we upload as well.
Correct.
But don't just like our channel, don't just subscribe, but also make sure you ring the little bell that's up there on the top. Bing! That actually notifies you anytime that we come out with something new. So thanks for sharing this time with us this week, and we will see you next Tuesday here on the Panoptic Chopstick Show. We want to welcome you to our YouTube channel. That's right, the Panoptic Chopstick channel, where we are bringing fun to photography.
Hey, we want to invite you each week to join us on Tuesday, where we put out a new episode of our Panoptic Chopstick Show, where we will give you tips, tricks, interviews with photographers, we'll give you DIY projects to do on your own, and maybe even inspire you a bit.
That's right, including always a little dash of fun. So we want to invite you to go ahead and subscribe and like our channel, where you will get notified every Tuesday of brand new episodes. But welcome to the Panoptic Chopsticks channel.
Come join the fun.